Hey, it's Joe Crump. Got another video for you. On this one, I'm going to talk to you about another web page that I created for a different type of lead. I think the last video I talked to you about the We Buy Homes type of website, and that was for a very specific type of lead that you go after. Remember, you got to target your advertising to the lead that you've got so that it makes the most sense for them and it solves their problem. They're not interested in going to a general website that has 12 different options. That you've got to make it very specific towards what that lead is being directed to that site for. Otherwise, they'll leave your site immediately. If you look at my websites, most of them are designed not as portals to take you to a bunch of different places, but as an answer to a specific problem for a specific advertisement or a specific lead that I'm driving to that site. I don't want them going off into some other sites. I don't want them clicking on Google AdWords. I want them staying on my site, reading my letter, with my information, finding out about my house, and going through the process that I'm trying to get them to go through in order to sell them a house, help them buy a house. In my case, sell them information about real estate investing. Any of those things, it's all the same. It doesn't matter whether you're selling plumbing or real estate investing information or real estate itself. It's all the same concept in marketing, in direct marketing. You focus on the thing that they're going to do. This next web page that I'm going to show you are for people who you're trying to work with in the Fent method. This is a seller's page where you drive people who are trying to get their houses rented, or you drive people that are for sale by owner. And I've got some great techniques to get people to the site. They don't go automatically. Just because you have the site up doesn't mean that anybody's going to go to your site. You've got to drive traffic to it. You've got to drive a specific type of traffic to it with specific words and advertising to get them interested enough to look at the website and to read it, and in this case, to listen to the audio. What we're doing on the Fent method when we're marketing towards the sellers, we give them an audio. And on this audio, it explains to them how we work, how we fill their property. It explains to them that it costs them no money to work with us, that we're paid completely by the buyer, and that it's very easy for them to set it up. It also builds our relationship with them. It builds our credibility with them. And it shows them we're not just some fly-by-night, guy who watched late-night TV and learned how to do this stuff. So it gives them confidence that we know what we're doing. And on this site, there's an audio. Actually, it's my voice explaining how the program works. Below that, there's text that explains essentially the same thing. And then there's a form for them to fill out with some questions about their house, asking them how much they want for the house, how much they want their rent to be. Once it explains the entire Fent method and how we work, it asks them to fill out this form. And when they fill out that form, it sends us an email. And when we get that email, we know without fail, we will get 100% of those sellers to sign up with us and to work with us. We've never had a problem for that to happen. Now, I suppose if you're a complete moron, you don't answer their calls, you don't return their calls, there's a possibility you're not going to get it. But every time we've called them back, and we sound halfway credible on the phone. And I've got people that are brand new at this that they don't sound all that credible. They're still learning the process. They still get the deals because this is a great way to qualify that lead before it gets to you. Now, granted, a lot fewer people are going to fill out this form, but the people that do are going to be the ones that are most qualified. Now, if you're first getting started, you don't want to get all your leads through this because you're not going to have enough of them, and you want to be good on the phone before you start taking these leads because you want to be able to bang them off when they come in. Once you automate the process and you start using this website, then it's going to be a lot more exciting. I know I showed you the We Will Buy site for the We Buy Homes ads. I'm not going to show you this site. It's more proprietary. I want to keep it focused mainly for the people in my mentor program and the people that do the push button stuff. But at least I'm giving you an idea of how it works. If you don't want to get involved in my program, that's okay. You can still go out and create your own site that's similar to this or similar to what I'm teaching, and I tell you, it'll work. It's a very powerful way to do it. It also puts them into an autoresponder so that if they don't buy from you, it'll start sending them emails, once every 3 weeks saying, hey, I'm still interested in your property, please give me a call. And you can stop that anytime. If they do start working with you, you just stop, you click a button and it stops that email going out all the time. And that then It takes us to the next video, which I'm going to talk to you. Oh no, actually, that then puts them into the next autoresponder. When they do set up this deal, it takes them into a next autoresponder that sends them an email out every week and tells them what you're doing to find buyers for the properties. It educates them about the process and how you're doing it. It talks to them about pricing, which is the main key of that thing. There's two main reasons we're doing this. One is we want them to know that we're still on the job, that we're not just, again, fly by night, that we're credible, that we're paying attention, that we're doing something. And this is without us having to do a thing. It's all put into the autoresponder, so it automatically sends them an email, every week, letting them know we're doing more stuff. And it also talks to them about price. That's the second most important thing. If a property is marketed the way that I teach and it doesn't sell, it's because of price, and you want your sellers to understand that. So you start talking to them by the second or third week about pricing. If it doesn't sell, then we should talk about the pricing. Third week and fourth week, it starts educating them more about why pricing makes all the difference. And this whole series of emails that I've already written, this isn't something you have to create. This is something I've already written and that we use, and that is part of the mentor program, part of the push button method. When you set those things up, it makes it very easy for you to convert these types of leads, and very easy for you to keep them on. Now, I learned this process from when I was a realtor. I was a realtor way back when. I was one of the top realtors in my city, and to be a good realtor, you have to do a lot of listings. You list properties all day long, and you put them in the MLS, and you price them right, and they will sell. But if they're not priced right, they don't sell. And I was listing lots of properties. The problem was when I wouldn't contact my sellers after I listed the properties, because I knew it didn't really matter if I did that. And it took a lot of time, and I didn't want to talk to them, and all I could say to them was, sorry, I haven't got it sold yet, I just need to keep selling it. And I knew that was a problem, because the sellers would start canceling their listings on me, and I was losing a lot of listings. I had a lot of them to lose, but I was losing my listings, and I didn't want that to continue. Again, I didn't want to call them. I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want to waste my time, doing something that's not going to be productive, that's not going to make me money. So what I did instead was I created a series of letters. This was before the autoresponders came out, before that technology was available, and before people had, before email was ubiquitous. So I created a series of letters that we wrote, and my assistant sent it out once a week. She'd send out this letter to each of my listings saying, here's what we're doing, and it would always talk about price. If you think about, dropping your price, please give me a call. We can more likely to get it sold. And after, a month, 2 months would go by, I'd get a phone call, hey, Joe, and I'd go, oh no, they're going to, cancel their listing on me. You're right. Right about what? We should, I think it's time to lower the price. Oh, right, 5,000 or 10. And we'd lower that price, we'd get the property sold, it would serve them, it would serve me, it would serve the buyer that came into the deal, and everybody was happy through it. And I didn't have to do any extra work. All I had to do was set it up properly so that it was automated. That is what these websites do, that is what autoresponders do, and when you get involved in my program, these are the things that are included in that so that you can use that immediately. All right, hope that helps. Bye-bye now.